everybody, my name is Arcadi, and welcome to a new Minecraft series called Let's Build Together. And it's based off of a bit of a single video, like a smaller video of mine, that I made a very, very long time ago. And I decided just recently, within the last month or so, to actually make it into a new series. And it is quite different. So, first of all, something I have to tell you. Obviously, I am in creative mode. But yeah, if you can't tell from this giant little build in the background, I'm not playing survival mode for the series. This is going to be entirely done in creative, and we're going to build a ton of cool, fun things in this world over here in this little build area. But anyways, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's go back down to the main building platform, because I am going to show you guys how these videos are going to be done, and also how we're going to make theme, or I guess the build of today's episode. So let's move over here to the dock, or I guess like the balcony. Don't know exactly what we're going to call this, but this is the little screen area where you get to, I guess, pick themes and stuff. Yeah, if you look over here, this is the theme and thing screen. So yeah, there's the text spread. Oh, I broke it! Oh, I broke it! Oh, I forgot this isn't survival. Oh no. You can't just hit things, they'll immediately break. Oh, that was quite silly of me. We're just gonna put that there for now and act like I didn't do that. But anyways, if you press this button, it's going to enable a spinner on this screen, and it's gonna choose some of the topics for the build. Now, it's not just a random thing where I make a spinner and I fill it with a ton of random building ideas and stuff like that, and then I just build whatever. I am actually trying to make it relatively interactive. So, for one, I am going to try to make it a bit of a fan thing where you yourselves, all the viewers, can comment whatever you want, and if it is, you know, the right thing, if it's a good thing for me to build, I will add it to the spinner wheel, and then you'll have a chance for it to be starred in the Let's Build Together series. I broke it again. But yeah, it's relatively straightforward, and because it's together, you know, obviously, I said the thing about, you know, the fans, how you guys can send your own topics, but there might also be some collaborations in the future, so it won't just always be me building. But with that being said, instead of me just rambling for the next like 20 minutes or so, however long this episode's gonna be, I am just gonna go up here, gonna go into fly mode a little bit so I can center this correctly, and I'm gonna press this button to enable a spinner and see what we get. Alrighty, we have our theme, I'm gonna turn this off now. Technically, I should probably have a lever if I'm gonna turn it on and off like that, but we have what we're gonna build, and we'll have to think for a little bit about exactly how we're gonna make it, because it could be a lot of different things. But before I get too far into overthinking and stuff, I am gonna jump down here into the pond. Here we go. And now we can find a good place to build our stuff. It's a bit chaotic down here. There's lots of villagers and bees around. But yeah, if we go over here, there's a bit of an empty space. If you can't tell, this entire area. And I think we'll build today's build right over here, not too far away from the center, because this is going to be the first episode of the series. So, cake. I don't know exactly how I'm going to go about doing this. Let me get a cake really, really quickly. This isn't going to be a build. I'm not just gonna plop a single cake down and say, that's it, I'm done, I did it, I built the thing. Instead, I think I'm gonna look through the blocks. By the way, good reminder actually, I am using a mod called Axiom, and one of the cool things that it lets you do is actually, you get a bit of a color picker on the side here. So if I want to choose like brown or something, the same brown, for example, as used on this cake, I could go in here, go to like, I think roughly around this area, in the orange area, and turn down this little brightness thing, and we'll have a ton of different browns to use for our cake. So I'll take some stripped spruce logs, some concrete powder, some brown wool, and if we go a little bit lighter with it, so around here, we could also get some acacia logs and some terracotta. And I think these would be some pretty good blocks to start with. I don't know exactly what kind of building we're gonna make. I know that it's gonna be cake themed, because, you know, that was what the theme and thing wheel said, and I have to obey what the thing and theme wheel says. But I think the best way to get started is to just get started, which, you know, is a bit of a circular reasoning thing, but that's just fine. So I'm just gonna copy a bit of what the cake has down. It's a little bit darker on the corners here, so I'm gonna use some wool for this bit. And I think roughly around here, if we want to make the cake bigger, we can totally do that and just, you know, extend it out this way. Now, I don't know if I'm going to make a second wheel for this. I do have a modifier wheel up there. I can actually fly up there right now to show you. This other wheel on the other side of the balcony area is today's modifier. And that's basically going to choose, like, once we have the theme, we can choose what kind of, like, building it's going to be, whatever, like, adjectives you guys want to add or anything like that. But for now, we just have cake. So my first thought, you know, initially, was just a cake house, which would be that wouldn't be too hard to make. I could just continue with what I'm doing now, and then somewhere down the line, we'd probably have a really good cake house. I think I want to be a little bit more unique than that. So not just like any random house. I want to make it something more specific. I already have the Cake and Shake Bakery in my Minecraft world, in the Wonder World where I build all, like, you know, the fun things I think about and have Wonder for. But I don't want to make the same thing. I don't want to make just another bakery in the shape of a cake, a cakery. I don't want to make that. I think instead of all of this stuff, we can have it be like a secret base of sorts. To elaborate, like a little layer, like a cake layer. That would be a really cool idea. Straight out of nowhere, really. Doesn't make any sense for like an evil bad guy to have a layer that's made of cake. But I'm going to run with it anyways, because I guess that's just how I roll. That's how I'm going to do it. Let me count how many blocks we have. It's going to go around here. So 1, 2, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, good. I'm not going to edit that out at all. I could easily edit that out and make myself look better. I'm not going to do it, though. I'm just not going to do it. I think it'd be quite funny to leave that in. Okay, there we go. There we go. So this is the square it's going to be in. And it doesn't have to be a perfect square, because cakes are never perfectly square. For example, even the Minecraft cake is a little bit like rectangular. It's not like a full square. So I'll just do this. I think I'll add some details on the line, like candles and different kinds of icing and stuff. Maybe even layers to the cake. But even with, you know, with that being said, I'm still gonna just run with this and see where it goes. For anybody watching at home that's going to make something similar to this, or I guess use this as an inspiration for your own build, I would say try not to do exactly what I'm doing. I don't know if I said this the last time I made a video like this. I think it was a few months ago. It was over a few months ago. It was last Christmas. But I would say try to incorporate your own things. But I absolutely love the idea of like using my my own build as either a reference point or inspiration. Because at the end of the day, the build is really just a look it feels, you know? I mean, there are more important aspects to it. It's not just like, you know, it looks a certain way, and that's the only thing that matters in like design and stuff. But I will say it matters more than most other things would. Yeah, feel free, basically, to use this as inspiration whenever you want. Even though this isn't going to be an exact tutorial. I'm just going to build this up a bit more on the sides. I think the rest of this will be this little kind of brown concrete powder, because I really love the way it looks. Its texture is amazing. It's like kind of like sandy and stuff. And the wool itself also looks a little fluffy. Very, very happy about that. Oh, whoopsies, wrong block, wrong block. Okay, something like this on the sides. And I think we could continue from there. I'm just gonna fill in the rest of this bit, and then we'll get on to the next more important part, where we're gonna go through some extra details, and I guess expand upon the current idea. Alright, so I added a little bit more onto it. I'm gonna fill in this last bit here. But filling this all in has made me realize something about how I'm building. And it's not particularly a bad thing, because, you know, it still does work. It still looks kind of good. But as I'm building, I'm realizing that the original cake is actually a lot more like orange. It's a lot more neutral than this like strict brown. So I think what I've done is by not using the acacia logs and the terracotta, I've kind of made like a little like chocolate layer. But I think I'm gonna like lean into that a little bit, because if I make this layer like a normal layer, it'd be a nice little cool like multi-layered cake of sorts, which has all kinds of different flavors on it. Another thing I could do, actually, now I'm thinking about this a little bit more, I could also add to its shape a little bit by moving this this little icing bit in just a bit, and then building up the next layer right here, instead of building up the way that I was going to originally. So basically, the next layer would be like somewhat inward, and it would go up a bit, and then you'd have the center part. So all this would still work. I could even, if I so wanted, change these little side bits, make it look like it's a tiny bit rounded. And I think that'd be a really, really cool idea. But anyways, while I'm rambling, I might as well go over the extra change I made, which I didn't really go over when I last was talking. I added all this icing, obviously, as you can see, and I think it looks really, really good. And what I did with it, actually, is I used white wool for most of it, because white wool is a relatively fluffy texture, and it's like a really neutral, I think, color when you, I guess, like block when you're using white as a color. But I use these little stripped pale oak logs, as their texture is a little bit more wavy, and it looks a little bit more liquid, so you can kind of see how like the icing almost looks as if it's going down the edges. And I really, really like that. I'm gonna go a little bit further with my details. I'm gonna continue adding a little bit more of this icing, just, you know, changing some of this just to round it out a little bit for detail's sake. But overall, I think we're making really good progress. I don't know exactly how I'm going to, I don't know exactly how I'm gonna add the like layer aspect, though. I did kind of like pigeonhole myself just then by making it specifically into an evil layer. But, you know, I am building for the sake of building, so it's just fine. It's just fine to really like expand upon things and get new ideas as you build. That's just a part of the process. Seeing as we're at this point, though, I'm going to continue with my build just a little bit, but I'm also going to brainstorm in my mind about how I could go around this change. I guess, like, implementing the aspect of it being an evil layer of sorts. Now, my first instinct was to make, like, a sword inside the cake, so it's, like, kind of like a lie cake. It's kind of like a trap. Anybody that's played Portal 2 would know that cake is a lie, so... You know, I could have like a sword or like a something that you wouldn't want to eat inside the cake, but like if you went to eat it, you would actually end up eating the other thing. And even though that isn't exactly like an evil layer specifically, it's not like somewhere like an evil person would hide. It is like an evil little thing that you wouldn't really expect. Ooh, bell center. Ooh, ooh, mistake, mistake! I made a mistake. Oh no, can't have that. Can't have that. No, 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 no. I started building with the other blocks. Oh my gosh. But I think that's a good idea. So I'll add a sword. I think I'll add like a sword to the middle of it, and there could be like a little table going around, and then we could have like either mobs or like armor stands. That is where they're gonna be like hiding out. I'm gonna make this layer orange with the certification logs and the terracotta. Done with that. Decorate the icing, because I think that itself is going to look really, really, really cool. At some point down the line, maybe we can add some like candy stuff to it. I remember last time I made a Let's Build episode, I did have a lot of candy involved, so I might just that. I'm also going to give myself this little block here, because what it's going to do, you can get it by crafting 3, I think? Oh wait, no, 4 of these oak logs together, and you know, it's going to make it so that once you place it down, there's no like exposed parts like this, where it's like the middle of the log. I'm gonna go around and just replace these once without a center, just to like smooth it out a little bit. Now the time to orange bit. Add the extra icing, and and I get to the other parts. So you know what that means? It's back to time-lapse time! Alright, it's almost looking pretty good. I mean, I think it looks pretty good already, if you ask me. But I think there's more that we could do. So, think a little bit. I did mention candies and candles. So I think I'm gonna go in here, search up wall, and I think walls are gonna be like the candles. I just don't know exactly how I'm gonna incorporate these. I'll take this like vibrant red with the nether brick wall here. Also some diorite. And we'll see if we can make a good looking candle with it. It might look a little bit jarring. But if we do something like this, is this good? Is this good as a candle? I'm not quite sure. I don't know exactly how I'm going to make the fire though. Let's try lantern. We can try a lantern. I'll put a lantern on here. It's not the most convincing thing for fire, I guess. But it works. We could also go for blocks. I was just worried that blocks look funky. So we can put netherrack on top. And some other kind of red block. We can build up a bit. Put netherrack on top of it. And because fire will never go away with netherrack. It'll be like a little bit of like a permanent kind of thing. Like it's gonna stay there. So I'm just gonna pop down a few more candles. Just 3 for now. Not for any like specific birthday, but just because that is all I seem to really be able to fit on there at the moment. I like to add a little bit more. I will say the red looks really weird. I think this this texture is kind of throwing me off. Because candles are supposed to be like relatively smooth and stuff. Instead of going through all the blocks, I think we'll go in here and try to find one. Mushroom. Mushroom. Mushroom should look good. Let's see how it looks. Is that any better? It does look kind of better. Even though the fire is all kinds of weird, the netherrack really does throw things off. Something like this would work well. I just don't know if the mushrooms would burn away, and I really hope they don't. So I guess in a normal world, that isn't the best design because the fire will eventually go away, but I'm going to stick with it for now because this isn't just any world. Put on this front though with the candles. Oh, yeah, you see, it already went away. It already went away. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, campfire! Campfire! Oh, I've been so silly. We could do campfires. Again, not the most convincing thing, but it looks kind of cool at least. And you also get like little smoke particles, which I'm a big fan of. Okay, finishing touches. We'll have to do a little bit more on the outside before we get to the inside and begin to wrap things up with the build. So let's get some pink. I'm gonna use cherry wood as like almost like strawberry frosting for a little bit of this. It's just gonna go around. I think the edge of it is good. So those corners are gonna be like that. So for every corner, I'm gonna go in just by one and then come back out to the edge. So let's just keep building. All right, is that good? I think it looks good. I think it looks really good. Now I think the bottom layer does look a little jarring. Given that there's no ring of icing, so we'll also pick something else for the bottom as well. I was thinking just like brown for like chocolate. Puzzle's not gonna work. No, I almost picked puzzle, but if I picked puzzle, it would have looked muddy almost. That would not have been good in the slightest. Not too sure. Stripped oak That's okay, let's see. Stripped dark oak wood. Let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna do what I did before and just go around in a ring. And it should be good. Oh. Uh-oh. I made a mistake. It's one off. It's one off, is it? Oh, the cake. Let's see. Okay, wait. Nope, it's not that off. I just need to round these edges. Oh, it looked off because it wasn't the same as the other quarter. I was so worried. I was so worried for no reason there. Okay, this is an easy fix. All right, there it is. There it is. That's that layer done. I'll bring down these edges like I said I would. And now I think the outside, for the most part, is done. I could add a few more things to it. I quite like the way it looks. So how am I going to go about the other bits? Because it was supposed to be a bit of like a building. Honestly, I'm kind of happy with just like the cake being a cake, if I'm being honest. But I did say that I want it to be a little bit of like a trick. It's still like somewhat evil. I'm just going to go in here. Oh, that was silly of me. Whoops. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to build that sword. So let's use some diamond blocks. And I'll be pretty basic. I'll just use some random wood. So let's get some stripped oak. And right in the middle of it, there's just going to be a big diamond sword that's facing up. So if you try to get any of the cake, you're going to get the giant diamond sword. It's going to hurt a ton. Okay, let's get some iron as well for like the little handle thingy. Because I think diamond swords have that. Oh wait, no, it's diamond the whole way. That's a different color though. So what's it called? Prismarine? We use prismarine for that. I think that's like about the right color. So right in the cake, just a big diamond sword. Just a big diamond sword. To establish the fact that it is in fact a trick. I'll also set some lanterns in. They're all gonna be soul lanterns because you know it's blue. It's got to match. Oh, we can even have some sea lanterns as well. The sea lanterns are also blue. They're a lot brighter. Alright, so there's that. The sword is inserted. It's really weird. I don't know why I insisted on making it a specifically evil cake. Just felt right, honestly. I think the last thing I want to do, actually, I think I want to make a plate for it. I want to make a plate for it. I want to leave a note for it that says the cake is a lie or something like that. Or actually, the cake is true, and on the inside of the sign it says the cake is a lie. So, let's see. How do I go into Axiom again? I know there's like a thing for it. Okay. Alt key. What am I doing? How do I use Axiom? I have world edit, so /test. I do have world edit. Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back in here. The actual middle. The sword is a little bit offset. That's fine, I guess. Oh wait, actually, we need a brush first. Let's get a brush. Let's do I'll do quartz. I mean, a nice little like a quartz kind of plate. Do quartz block. That's this, right? So is that how? Okay, that's how it works. Okay, good. Let's see. I need to change it from 5 to a higher number. Oh, we can only do 6? Uh-oh. Oh no! Big issue. We can only do 6. Okay, I can try my best with this to make this work. So, each of these edges, just gonna extend it out a little bit. And I think it pokes through to this side. Continue with the centers. And then we'll have to fill it in. I'll have to change my configuration settings to match it. But if we do this, it should work just fine. I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting somewhere doing this. It's not bad. It is not the most even plate, I will say that. Definitely not the best. But it works. It works. Very, very off plate. It's very, very off. But you know what? That's fine. You know, the idea was for it to be a plate, but I would have to raise it up and stuff like that. So instead of having it be a plate, I think we'll take some cherry, and we'll make this look like it's a nice little, like, fabric, kind of, like, picnic thing, almost. So just gonna zigzag all the way around. I won't have it be that close to the edge, so we'll just have it set off like that. hopefully this ends up looking pretty good. I think it will. I have great faith in this. Alright, it's a little messy, but that's the thing about like the little fabric things. I guess like fabric circles for picnics and stuff. Doesn't have to be perfect. So it's fine. We did a good job. And if I really want to go a step further and get some iron trapdoors and like kind of set them down. I don't know if that's gonna work very well. Just like add to like the fringe, I guess, or like the little fringe of the fabric. And also make it look a little transparent. I will say the noise of the iron does not remind me of fabric. It reminds me of hard metal because I guess, you know, it's iron. Of course it's gonna sound like that. But it's very off-putting. I just have to remember this is gonna look like fabric when we're done with it. It's all done. I think I'll leave this little bit and also like a trail of, I guess, like crumbs leading into it. So let's have that. We'll have some spruce buttons as well. And we could also have some like some blackstone. Let's get a blackstone button. And these could be like a bunch of like ants coming over from the field. It's done. I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with it. Last thing I'm gonna do. Very last thing. I'm gonna place some signs down. So this one is gonna say, "Enjoy the cake," and there's gonna be a nice little smiley face there. And on the inside, I am gonna put, "The cake is a lie," and a bunch of exclamation points. Exclamation mark? Exclamation point? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Oh, should I hide this up actually? A little obvious, so I'll hide it. Just a little bit. Oh. Yeah, I will. Oh, it's so subtle. It's so subtle. Here it is. Here's the evil cake. Let's put on some shader packs, actually. I already have a shader pack on, but it's just a vanilla one. Let's see what this looks like with Complementary Imagined. Now, I don't know if I'll be using Complementary for some of the replay shots, but I think it looks really pretty. It's really saturated, actually. It's really, like, super saturated at this level. Let's try something else. Miniature. Try super duper vanilla, maybe? Oh, that's good. Oh, that's a good one. Oh! The bloom's a bit much. That looks really cool. I like how like makes the cake almost look pastel. That's so cool. I'll be changing my shaders a little bit later. So it's like so it looks good for all like the replays and stuff, the little recording. But I'm quite happy with where we are in the build. Let me go back to normal though, because that was a bit overkill. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with the cake. Alright, well, with all things being said, I think that's just about as much as I want to do, and I hope it looks really, really good. As I said earlier in the episode, you can absolutely use this as inspiration for your own builds. If you want to make one for yourself, that's absolutely fine. You don't gotta give credit or anything. It is just, you know, put it out there as a YouTube video. Have fun with it. If you do play Minecraft, typically my viewers do. If you want to be featured, whether it's in my Wonder World or I guess in a like kind of Hall of Fame in this series, you can always send pictures of like whatever you build, screenshots of whatever it is you make, whether it's inspired by Let's Build or not, and you could totally get featured, and it'd be a lot of fun. But with that being said, that's about all I really want to say for the end of this. I don't really have a good outro. I don't have a good outro for the end of Let's Build. So I think I'll have to workshop one for the future. But all I can really say right now is I had a lot of fun building with you guys, and it's been a absolute blast getting myself to build stuff again, or I guess like build wacky stuff. Wacky random things that are like, you know, totally predictable. And you know, it really made me think. It really made me think about like how I was gonna make the cake work, how I was gonna work this all together and make it look like it's not like totally weird, just like on top of grass and stuff. So do expect more of this because I did enjoy it an absolute ton. But with that being said, I think there's no more rambling I can really do for the rest of this episode. I just hope you all had a wonderful time and have a wonderful time with whatever it is you're doing in the real world as well.